If you've gone no contact and your ex has come back around, but in the ensuing conversation, you're not really getting anywhere, you could be doing it wrong. So watch this video to clear it up. So I had a call with a client today, and this individual went through a period of no contact with their ex, and their ex finally came back around and they're texting, but the conversation was kind of dry and it really didn't end up going anywhere, even though it was kind of drug out over the course of a couple weeks. So they schedule a call with me. They're like, hey, what's going on? Because this doesn't seem to be working. Because this person had seen my other videos and they knew that they had to allow that other person to chase them. They knew that they had to put in less effort than the other person, but they were making some mistakes in terms of the way that they were interacting with their ex. So the first mistake they were making was that they were artificially buffering their reply time. So for example, the ex would come back, they would say something, and then this person would, respond 4 or 5 hours later, pretty consistently, and sometimes even up to a half a day later. Now, the way that you should think about reply time with your ex, even though you're letting them chase you, is that sometimes you're going to be busy. So let's say, for example, you go to the gym, you're not going to be texting them while you're lifting weights. If you go out, let's say you even go out and you're hanging out with somebody that you don't even really like that much per se, that you don't like. It's not like you value them more than your ex. Well, you'll honor that engagement. You'll honor what you're doing to hang out with that person, even though you'd probably rather text your ex or whatever. But you'll wait to text them until you're done with that particular hangout. So whatever it is that you're doing, that becomes holy because your affairs come first over and above this person that pushed you away and broke up with you. So in that sense, you can delay your reply time because when you're authentically doing things that you're engaged in, you're not going to be on your phone texting your ex. But outside of those times, when you're legitimately doing nothing else, you can pick up your phone and you can fast reply to your ex if they're putting in effort, into that conversation. So because there was literally no windows of fast reply time, that ex was getting the picture that this individual just wasn't interested enough. And it just there wasn't really a flow to it. And not a lot could develop as a result of that artificially buffered reply time. Now, the next thing is this individual was a female and the ex was a male. All right. And so the ex was chasing after her and was really over a course of a few days, he was, initiating the conversation, asking how she was doing. He was, asking questions and kind of moving the conversation forward. And, those were opportunities, where because he was putting in sufficient effort to push the conversation forward and he was initiating, that was, sufficient for her to drop her availability in that conversation to see if he would try to create a date with her. And so in her particular case, she missed that window of opportunity to, throw her availability out there, which would have kind of made things go to the next step. So if a woman likes a man, she'll make it easy for him to ask her out. Now, the last area of opportunity for this individual was that even though she was allowing him to do more in the conversation and that she was being playful in little pockets, okay, she was religiously sticking to this idea of going one notch down from the ex in terms of effort. So it's like if the ex sent a text bubble that's like 2 lines, she would send one that's like 1 line, but she would never break form. And the reason this is a problem is because sometimes in that conversation, you're going to need to allow yourself a little leeway to say the next funny thing or to maybe ask a question or to do the thing that you need to do in that conversation to not make it dry, right? And it's going to require you to maybe send a text bubble that was bigger than your ex's last text bubble. So when it comes to following the rules with texting your ex after a period of no contact, okay, you don't want to stick to it dogmatically and religiously because it will cause these problems that sort of detract from the natural flow of the conversation. So if your ex has hit you up after a period of no contact and you're not really getting anywhere, or if you just want to learn the rules in general, like how should I be talking with my ex, click my profile picture, click this link down here and get in contact with me. Let's have a conversation about your exact situation and I'll educate you on the way that you should be talking with your ex and how to get it to where you're finally meeting up after no contact.